Okay. I wanted to use Skate 3 to practice my presentation, but I didn't look at the game, and it was not Skate 3. It's a random ass movie. But we'll try our best. Okay. How being miscommunication becomes conflict. Being misunderstood is one of the most frustrating experiences someone can have at work. Miscommunication can easily turn small issues into larger conflicts when people interpret messages differently than they were intended. Most of the time, it's not that people actually disagree. It's that they don't fully understand each other. Intent. For example, someone might give quick instructions in an email, but if those instructions are vague or unclear, team members may complete tasks differently than expected. Communication issues can arise from emails as a message that was meant to clarify something and might come across as criticism if the tone isn't interpreted correctly. When results don't match expectations, frustrations begin to build. One person may feel they have explained things clearly, while the other feels they were never given enough information to begin with. The key skill in these situations is being able to recognize when communication is breaking down and diffuse the problem before it grows. That means pausing to ask clarifying questions, confirming what's understood, and making sure everyone is aligned before moving forward. When teams actively take time to clarify misunderstandings early, they can prevent small communication issues from turning into larger workplace conflicts. Another common communication problem in the workplace is poor audience awareness. When we communicate, we often focus more on what we want to say rather than who will be reading or hearing the message. But understanding your audience is extremely important. The way you explain something to a manager, for example, may be very different from how you would explain it to a technical team member or to a client. Another common issue when people assume everyone has the same level of knowledge is using highly technical terms with someone unfamiliar. Whew. I'm only on wave 1, jeez. With subjects may confuse them, while oversimplifying information for experts can cause them to lose interest or question your credibility. Because of this, it's helpful to pause before sending a message or report and ask a few simple questions. Who is my audience? What do they know? And what do they need to know? Successful communication happens when we adapt our messages to our audience, making sure the information is clear, appropriate, and easy for them to understand. Assumptions are one of the most dangerous things in project communication. In fact, they become silent project killers. Teams often assume everyone understands their roles, responsibilities, deadlines, and priorities. But when those expectations aren't clearly communicated, people might end up working on the wrong task or focusing on the wrong priorities. Holy guacamole. Okay. Probably the worst modern warfare gameplay you'll ever see, just so y'all know. And worst presentation given, since I keep doing both. very badly. I didn't hit a single person with that. What the hell? One enemy left. Okay, we'll run for a little bit. Wrong priorities. Well, people end up working on the wrong task or focusing on the wrong priorities. Instead of everyone moving in the same direction, the project starts to drift apart. This can lead to mistakes, duplicated work, missed deadlines, and sometimes entire sections of a project need to be redone. I can fix this, guys. Become good. The real problem is that teams sometimes rely on the idea that everyone is on the same page instead of make sure they actually are. In fields like system management, this is especially important. For example, configuration management ensures that every detail of a system changes, documented and understood before anything is modified. The same principle applies to teamwork. When communication is clear, assumptions disappear. And projects stay aligned. Another example, imagine a group project where one person assumes someone else is creating the presentation slides while another person assumes they are handling the research. When the deadline arrives, nobody has completed those tasks because everyone assumed someone else was responsible. Clear communication is what prevents these gaps. Things like documented expectations, clarified roles, and followed up conversations. Slide 5. Communication styles also play a big role in a workplace misunderstanding, especially when it comes to being passive or assertive. Passive communication happens when someone avoids conflicts and holds back their opinions. This can look like staying silent during meetings, not asking questions, or giving vague responses. While this may avoid tension in the moment, it often leads to confusion, inconsistent results, and missed opportunities for collaboration. On the other hand, assertive communication involves clearly and respectfully expressing your thoughts, concerns, or ideas. It allows you to communicate your perspective confidently and where was I? While also encouraging others to share theirs. This creates more clarity, mutual respect, while also encouraging others to share theirs ideas. This creates allows you to communicate your perspective confidently while also encouraging others to share theirs. This creates more clarity, mutual respect, and stronger teamwork. However, assertiveness doesn't mean dominating the conversation. Over-explaining, interrupting, or talking over others can still disrupt communication. The goal is to strike balance, communicate expectations clearly, setting boundaries when needed, and actively listening so that everyone feels heard and understood. Slide 6. One of the most expensive consequences of poor communication is unclear requirements. When employees receive instructions that are vague or incomplete, they may feel confused about what is expected from them. This often leads to frustration and lower morale. because people can start to feel unsupported or even set up to fail. Over time, these feelings can lead to an erosion of trust in leadership. If employees constantly receive changing or inconsistent instructions, they may begin to lose confidence in management and the direction of a project. From a project perspective, unclear requirements can become very costly. When tasks are poorly defined, teams often underestimate the time, effort, or resources needed to complete them. This can lead to budget overruns, wasted effort, and expensive corrections later in the process. That's why clarity from the beginning is essential. When expectations are clearly defined, understanding the why, the who, and the how, teams are able to work efficiently, avoid unnecessary stress, and deliver stronger results. Also, I know that's not like the best use of my money, but it's okay. Slide 7. These are our references. We used AI and we used the article called Difference Between Change Management and Configuration Management. AI, we just asked it to help provide talking points, and the script and article we used to put together the slides. Said that wrong, but where are we at? We are 11 minutes in. I kind of went over a little bit, but I was stuttering a lot. I was pausing a lot. I was playing crappy at the game. This is the first time I actually tried reading this. Oh my god. Well, first time I tried reading the script. And what's in the words? I think in 2 parts I can add actual real experiences so it's not so robotic. Where is it? Change management. Change management. I could talk about how I'm in cybersecurity major, and we learned a lot about risk management and change policies. Let me add that to. Let me just add that to the bottom. I can't find it right now. Change management and risk management in cyber security major. Had a class for it. Then what was the other one? Where I was talking about constantly changing goals and expectations can affect thinking. As I worked in a small restaurant chain, worked because I don't work there anymore. W in chat, I start my new job in like 5 days. As I worked in a small restaurant and constant changing expectations derailed the team's thought process. Complaints to management. Alright, well, 15 minutes overall, not bad. If I actually practice a little more and get better at the game by not looking at it. I got better in the second half, but this is day 1. I'll keep practicing throughout the night, and I will upload one for Saturday of my day 3. Day 2, I'm gonna be working, and then actually I will probably upload one for day 2. Yeah.